I know, I just noticed.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Moved by Councillor Keel, seconded by Councillor Coddick. Resolved that the special meeting commence at the hour of 6 p.m. And be it further resolved that council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robinson Superior Treaty area on lakes that have been traditionally used, lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations, but we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbors, the community of Bigdagon Nishnabek and Pic Mobert First Nation. We wish to recognize a long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect to them today. All in favor? Okay, is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? Seeing none. Approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Coddick, seconded by Councillor Keogh. Resolved that the agenda be approved as circulated. All in favor? Okay, delegations, presentations. Okay. Applications received for council vacancy. Each applicant shall be afforded the opportunity to address council for a period of not more than 5 minutes. Each member of council will be permitted one question to each candidate if necessary. Candidate responses will be limited to no more than 2 minutes per question. The order of speaking will be alphabetical order of last name. The first candidate to be called is Bryce Dubé. You come up and make a presentation.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bryce. I'm 22 years old and I've been a Manitowoc resident since March of 2016. For the past while, I've had quite an ambitious vision for this town that I hope I can meet my own vision one day. My ambitious vision for this town is, well, we are nestled in the middle of the boreal forest. I thought we could seize the opportunity to maybe make our town into a vibrant hub for researchers, artisans, and harness our unique qualities and surroundings. By leveraging the allure of our forests, we can attract researchers and from various disciplines such as forestry, environmental science, and ecology. Our town can be a sought-after destination for field studies, providing a rich environment for researchers, collaborators, and academic institutions. We can enhance our town's reputation and contribute to advancements in knowledge and sustainable practices. We can cultivate an atmosphere all as well for artisans and craftsmen. We can draw inspiration from our many landscapes and our all-encompassing beauty, along with maybe setting up micro campuses in the area, like many small communities up north in Manitoba have, such as Churchill. We can include, this can be collaborative spaces for artisans and poets as well. For tourism, we can also establish art festivals that can attract visitors every year. And I do think that many of the small hardworking businesses in this town can capitalize on this as well. With these micro campuses that I have a vision for, we can explore partnerships with universities, colleges, and institutions for sponsorships and grants, which can help us out. And by embracing our natural environments and promoting a culture of research into this town, as well as an artistic expression, we can position our town into a beacon of innovation and creativity. We can also generate economic growth, foster community pride, and leave a lasting legacy for generations to come. Another vision that I have is the sidewalks in this town. I do feel like not all of them are to the standard at which we can definitely improve our sidewalks, because like many mothers and fathers carrying moving around kids, it can be hard for them to go around town smoothly, as well as even dog walking. As a person who also walks my dog every day, or the dog walks me, that's the town joke. Sometimes an uneven surface can be harmful for a canine, especially going on an uneven surface, like watching your step can be your step. I'm sorry, I'm not speaking under public pressure. It's not something I
Take a breath.
And another thing is also making improvements to our rec center. I know there's been talk that, this rec center is going into disarray, but I do think with maybe proper funding streams, so we can improve it, we can fix it up, because that's like also the heart of our town. We have a hockey rink, a curling rink, a library and all that, and I don't want to see something like that go into disarray. Because that's all I have to currently say, but actually furthermore, while I don't think that this could be feasible for a small town, but an idea that I have is to maybe look into other methods of waste disposal. I know we have a landfill, but I was, or not like a dump, but I was also hoping that you could probably explore other ideas, maybe methods such as anaerobic digestion or waste to energy management. We can partnership with institutions, universities, or maybe if they're looking for small towns to establish something. I'm not 100% sure about that, but especially for a small town, but that's also an idea that I've had for our town. And that's all I have to say for now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Chair Jason. Just hold on a second. Are there any questions for Bryce? Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Next, Margaret Hartley.
Good evening. I haven't been this nervous in a very long time. So good evening, members of council and staff. I'd like to thank the mayor and council for the opportunity to address you and answer any questions you may have concerning my application to build a vacancy on. I'd like to take the opportunity to add a couple of things to the bio that you've already received and with my application. Of the 4 candidates, I am the only one who ran in the general municipal election. I moved here in 1987 when my husband at the time became employed at the Hemlock Gold Mine. We came from the community where the mine was closing, and this looked like a great place to start a new life and raise our daughter, which it is. I have volunteered with many groups over the years, especially when my daughter was younger. Later on, my volunteering was more with groups that work behind the scenes. My work schedule became so unpredictable with meetings and being out of town for work. So this led me to resign because I wasn't sure when I could be available for scheduling to be available on call. I was working at the mine for a short time when a position opened with the township. Having experience from working in the town of Lynn Lake, I applied and was successful. Starting with the township as the accounts payable and payroll clerk back in 1987. I worked in municipal government for the rest of my career in various positions, and the majority of those years were in management positions. Working from the ground up gave me a thorough understanding of how municipal government works from an administrative standpoint. The management positions gave me the political perspective, and as you know, they're quite different. Why am I running? I'm sure that's a big question in all of your minds right now. For many years, I worked in municipal government, and I'm still interested in it today. I follow up on minutes, the agendas, and political news that's out there. I'm not running to micromanage staff, cause chaos, or anything like that. I am running to work with a council that wants to see Manitowoc grow and prosper. I have the time and energy to dedicate the next 3.5 years remaining in this term to that task. I know that as a member of council, I am only one vote, and as an individual member, I have no authority other than to vote at the council table. Over the years, I've been involved with councils that work well together, but I've also worked with divided councils and councillors whose sole goal is that to disrupt the business of council. Those councils are generally unable to get much done during their term. I do not wish to be part of a council like that, and if selected, I will listen with an open mind and make my decisions accordingly. It is not now or has ever been my intention to get on council to stir the pot. I was asked of the candidates tonight who I would not want to work with, and my response was that I wouldn't answer the question. Because if elected, I need to work with the whole council, each and every one of you, and move manage budget's agenda forward. In closing, I would bring a wealth of experience and history to the table, which can only empower council. I thank you for your time and hope you will consider giving me your vote. So if anyone has any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you very
Thanks for
much.
your time.
Okay, next, Cheryl Herrick, McLeod.
Excuse me, Jim, could they be closer to the mic? It's very hard.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I speak pretty loud.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
Hi, everyone. I'm grateful for you, council and mayor, that I can sit here in front of you and tell you a little bit about me. Can you hear me, Kathy? I moved here 17 years ago. We bought a house right away and I still live in it. Since then, I've had 3 children move up here, and 2 of them are homeowners. This town, it just felt like home. I don't know, and I think most of you understand, when you go away and you drive up the 614, you're coming home. And this town is quaint. It's not large, it's not busy crazy. I don't even like cities when I leave. I know that a councilman brings to the table 3 positions that they must have. They must be a representative for the people. And they must bring some of the people's ideas to you, and there must be discussion. There must be also in-depth talk about whatever the subject is. There's many people that work for township. And we would have the responsibility of going and speaking with many people to find out the truth, the exact numbers of something, you know, to make sure that we understand what we're talking about, not to keep ourselves in the dark. The other position would be policymaker. And we appreciate the policies that have been made in this town to keep it the way it is. You know, dogs have to be on a leash, cats shouldn't roam, things like this make our town special. Along with other policies to do with like ATV driving and stuff like that, we follow the rules. But you, the council and the mayor, are put down, you put down what policies we must go by. The laws, the bylaws, and different things like that. The other part of this job would be to be a steward. To make sure that I live up to standards of a council person, but also of a good representative of a townsperson. One who follows the rules. One who gets out there and does things with the public. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows who I am, except for maybe you. I was married to Fred. And my boys even started getting to know everybody, because as soon as you move up here, my first week up here, I'm driving around, my husband's showing me the town, the circle, what direction you use on the circle, things like that. And everybody's waving. And I'm thinking, you've only been here a month and you know all these people? No, that's the kindness of our town. That's what is wonderful about our town, is the fact that people say hi to you. They don't have to know you, you know, and that's what makes it wonderful, that we're like that. I would not want to take away anything. I would like to move forward with decisions that are long-lasting. They're not short-term. And when we are looking at long-lasting situations, we make sure we encompass everything involved with that decision. So that 4 years down the road, we haven't dropped the ball, you know, that we're sure of policies that we are making. We will have controversies, of course. Not everybody's going to agree with anyone. I'm talking about outside them. In this circle, everyone should agree. Everyone should work together. Everyone should have an understanding. Be, you know, where you can be upfront and discuss things without having a bitter rival war or anything like that. No personal issue should come forward in a meeting on council. I worked with councilmen down in St. Catharines in my younger years, and I loved it.
I loved what he brought to the town, what he was running for and things like that. I am so busy in this town right now, but I love it. I'm a volunteer for Meals on Wheels. I'm a youth leader at my church, Bethany. I'm a children's leader for little kids. Thursday nights, we had Kids Connection, and we get quite a few kids.
30 seconds.
Okay.
5 minutes.
But that's what I want to see. I want to keep the town the way it is, but still move forward with improvement of things. But I'm sure that can be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Cheryl? Awesome. Thank you very much.
It's
Okay, and our last one's Tony Lynn. Rough. Rough is how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Really, it was rough. It hurt you. Hi, so my name is Tony Lynn. I go by Tony. I have been a resident of Manitowoc since 2017. And I followed in love with this town completely. I've worked in forestry and mining and customer service. I am now a stay-at-home mom and an active volunteer in town. I volunteer with the fire department and Meals on Wheels and my cottage association. So I am a little busy, but I do have some extra space on the volunteer card right now. If I am chosen for council, I hope to bring more understanding between council and the constituents. Through my volunteer positions, I hear a lot of opinions from people that I wouldn't normally get to talk to. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking really fast.
No, it's okay. Take a breath. Yeah.
By getting these opinions, I have been hearing a lot of frustration. And a lot of it seems focused around lack of access to information. I don't believe it's because the information is not accessible. I believe it's because it is difficult to access it. It is, and when they can access it, it isn't exactly in layman's terms. So they're having a hard time figuring out why decisions are being made the way they are. And it makes people frustrated. So I'm hoping to change that if I am voted into council today. I think that's all I can, but I don't really have a lot more to say.
Okay,
I think that's it. Thank you for taking the time to really talk today.
alrighty. Any questions for Tony Lynn? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Motion to appoint. Correct. Okay, first of all, I want to thank all 4 of you for taking the time and, you know, we got 4 different points of view here. And I mean, there's only one open position, so whoever is not successful, you know, please put your name in for the next election, is what I can say. Okay, so motion to appoint. Members of council shall vote for one nominee only by way of public vote. A nominee, in order to be successful, must receive more than 1/2 of the votes of all voting members of council. 3 votes is required. If votes cast are less than 51%, then section 9 of the council vacancy policy shall be followed. The clerk will call the candidate's name in the order they addressed council. Members of council will vote in support of one candidate by a show of hands. The clerk will declare the successful candidate, 3 or more votes.
Thank you, through the chair. Nominees to fill council vacancy. Bryce Dubé. Margaret Hartley. Cheryl Herrick McLeod. Tony Lynn Ruff. Congratulations, the successful candidate appointed by council is Tony Lynn Ruff. So resolution 2.
So moved by Counselor Keo, seconded by Counselor Kotick. Resolved that didn't write in, but Tony Lynn Ruff be appointed as counsel for the Township of Manitouwadge for the remainder of the 2022-2026 term of council. All in favor? Okay,
And then, sorry,
where are we?
the bylaws?
Okay, bylaws to appoint a successful candidate. Moved by Counselor Hudson, seconded by Counselor Keo, being a bylaw to appoint an elector to the office of council for the corporation of the Township of Manitouwadge be read a first and second time. And further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2023-26. All in favor?
Yes, with the bylaw.
Okay, so read the whole bylaw.
Yeah, you can just.
Oh, just some. Okay. Okay,
And now it's oath of office.
okay, next is oath of office, clerk to administer.
Tony, if you wanted
Yeah.
to.
Okay,
You have your phone. Sure.
Mhm.
I'm not expecting to be this nervous.
So this is the declaration of office, if you could just read this.
I, Tony Lynn Ruff, have been elected or appointed to council in the Township of Manitouwadge, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Okay, you could sign. Great, thank you, congratulations.
Thank you.
okay, so next is confirmation by bylaw. Moved by Counselor Keo, seconded by Counselor Kotick, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council of the Township of Manitouwadge at its special meeting held on Wednesday, July 5th, 2023, be read a first and second time. And further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2023-27. All in favor? Okay. Moved by Counselor Hudson, seconded by Counselor Keo, resolved that the special meeting adjourns at the hour of 6:24 PM. All in favor? Okay. Perfect.